Hold on a second. I know why. Now we're streaming. Tell her to check now.
Okay. See if I guess there were some technical difficulties, and we were not streaming previously. So, for first of all, we apologize for that problem. Hopefully, you're now all hearing us and seeing us, and starting again. We would like to welcome you all to GNCC Mixed Playdowns. This is our fifth draw of the competition. Right now we are watching on Sheet B, we are watching Team Pooley versus Team Fink. On Team Pooley, we have Caitlin Pooley, Vice Jeffrey Pooley, second Rebecca Andrew, and lead Jason Scott, and they are from Rochester. And then against them in yellow, we have Team Fink, which is Skip Brian Fink, Vice, I apologize for any friends and family, but I believe it is Britt Rianikoff, okay. Second, Benjamin Guzman, and lead Nicole Aaron, and they come from Broomstones, which is in Wayland, Massachusetts. So we just finished the first end. I didn't actually see the results since I was looking at the lineups. But they'll hang it momentarily. It was 2 yellow. So Team Fink got their deuce. On the other sheets we have, on A we have red Team Mooney versus yellow Team Clausen. On sheet C we have red Team Glessner versus yellow Team Daurenheim. On sheet D we have red Team Foster versus yellow Team Jackson, and we will update you with the scores of those as we get them. All right, so now the second end on our feature sheet is underway, and we have Team Fink drawing to the top 4 foot. And red is going to try to come after that shot and try to hit and roll away. They did a pretty good job. It didn't roll quite as far as maybe they'd like it to, but still pretty good. And after the first end on sheet A, we have Clausen taking 2. And C and D just finished up, but I'm not sure what the scores were. On our feature sheet again, we have yellow coming and just doing the straight hit. They wanted to roll towards the center, but I think they're perfectly happy with that more or less nose hit.
Update on sheet D as in David. Team Jackson has won.
That was a steal of 1 for Team Jackson. And on C, there was a steal of 1 for Team Daurenheim. So red looks like they tried to draw the top 12 foot, but they have a biter now. Decided not to go after the Yellowstone.
Stone is released.
So yellow will go after that red stone and hope to roll on. They got it out, and they successfully rolled on and actually are covering their shot in the 8-foot, although it's quite set up for a double.
This is Rebecca Andrew.
I think red here is trying to get the double and roll on. I don't know if, looks like it might be curling a little bit more than they wanted. Or a lot more than they wanted. They'll miss it entirely. So yellow's gonna try to put another one nice and high in the house. They don't want to let yellow do a hit and roll behind, or they don't want to let red do a hit and roll behind. So they want to keep it high. They're not sweeping. It's looking pretty good. It's definitely a pretty good draw. It looks like it's just going to sit top 12. So it's pretty much exactly where they wanted it.
And again in the hack is Rebecca Andrew from Team Pulley out of Rochester.
Now red is going to try to peel out that the yellow that they just threw. Leave the center clear since red will have hammer. She called him on pretty quick, but it doesn't look like it's curling as much as they had originally hoped. But they get one, and they get two. And I don't believe they're sitting shot, but it was still a pretty good double.
This is Britt Yanikoff, Team Fink, there by Skip. The team is out of Broomstone.
Looks like they're trying to hit that red one out. A chip shot. It looks like it will get it. That was a pretty good shot. So it got rid of that red one, but left their yellow one in play. And so now red Team Pulley will try to hit that yellow one out. Stick around. They're saying right up. Looks like it might be a little wide. It's hard to tell from here, but they'll get it and they'll roll away. It was a pretty nice shot.
Britt again is in the hack.
And yellow is looking like they're going to try to hit and roll towards the center, but their skip is saying right off. I think she was a little wide. Looks like she'll get it. Yeah, and she'll nose it, which isn't all bad. Red will follow that up. I'll try to hit that one out. So far, this is been a very traditional game in terms of lots of hits. Neither team wants to give up a big end, so they're very content just trading hits.
And this is Brian Fink setting up in the hack.
And they will nose it and sit in the 8-foot. We are in skip zones now. Well, I guess we were at the last shot too, but so red is going to try to trade hit some more. Hopefully, only rolled to center.
And hey, guess what's being called for the next shot?
Another hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I said neither team really wants to give up a big end right now, so they're both content just trading hits, hoping that the other team makes a mistake.
And again, this is Skip, Brian Fink.
That looks pretty close. They will hit and roll just a hair. And I think red is going to try for the blank. So for anyone a little less familiar, basically that means they're going to try to hit the yellow stone out and roll their shooter out. So nothing is in the house, and therefore they get to keep the hammer in the next end and hope to get more than 1 point. Saying whoa means don't sweep.
It's got some steam on it.
Yeah, that looks pretty good to me though. Yep, and that'll be a blank.
Indeed it is.
So after the second end, it is still 2-0 for Team Fink, and Team Pooley will retain the hammer for the third end.
The other three shoots are still in their second end, so we do not have a score update at this time. We'll let you know when we do. Just a moment.
Looks like on sheet C we have red sitting 1, more or less on the button, but yellow has that pretty well covered. So I think yellow is just trying to play for a force, so making red take 1, and then yellow will get the hammer. And
little bit of sheets A and C on the side there.
And on sheet A, looks like we have Team Mooney about to throw the hammer. And I think there's one yellow sitting in the house, so I think Mooney is going to, similar to our feature sheet, try to throw a blank. Meanwhile, on our feature sheet, yellow threw a draw to the back 4, and then red just followed that up with a hit. And so red is now sitting on the far 12, well, far side, but in the full 12.
This is Jason Scott, lead for Team Pulley.
So right now, on our feature sheet, the house is completely clear, so Team Pulley is just going to try to draw one in. Make yellow go after it.
And the sweepers are just escorting it on down. Corner guard.
We'll be a little short of the house, which I think is actually what they wanted. I didn't realize that was their lead. I should pay more attention. It's been a long day.
All right, and this is Ben Guzman, second for Team Fink.
Yellow is gonna draw, looks like the top 4 foot.
Here's a quick look.
And so red, of course, is going to try to hit that one out and then roll behind their corner guard that they just set up.
And this is Rebecca Andrew from Team Pulley, getting herself set up in that.
On sheet A, we have Team Mooney took 1 in the second end. So that game is currently 2-1 for Team Clausen. Oh.
Really hard. Delivering his stone.
Close. Hard three. Yes line. Yes line. Yes line. Yes line. Yes line. Yes line. Hard line. Hard line. Hard line. Don't want to discard.
All right. So it looked like, I'm really not paying as much attention to the show, but it looked like Pulley might have tried to peel, or sorry, Fink may have tried to peel the guard. And while they removed the redstone, they replaced it with their yellow. Oh, wow. On sheet C, there's looked like a really nice shot by red to have them sit 3. I don't know if that was the, looked like it was 3 for red. There are a lot of stones in the house there.
Okay, sheet D, we have an update. Team Foster now has 1, so that game is tied. Team Foster 1, Team Jackson 1.
I believe it was 3 for Glusner on C, but they haven't posted the score yet, so we will wait.
The hack is Britt, the vice skip for Team Fink.
So red snuck one behind that that yellow guard, but it's still pretty open, so yellow's gonna go after that. Yeah, it's almost completely open actually.
They got it.
So they hit that one out. Red will try to hit it and then roll back under their guard. Or not really back, but roll under their guard. And they posted the score on sheet C, and it was indeed 3 red. And it looks like red tried to do the hit on that yellow one. Didn't quite get all of it, so they pushed it a little bit actually under the guard, and they rolled to the other side of the house, so yellow is going to try to hit that one. Yellow's going after that red one. Looks like a pretty good shot. It overcurled a little bit, so they'll hit it, but they will roll out themselves. And that gives Team Pooley another chance to go after that yellow one in the house and try to hide themselves behind that guard. They're going to come after it with just, looks like just hack weight, since it's partially buried. And she's calling them right off. Needs to curl a little bit. Oh, now she's calling them on. Looks like she'll get it, but maybe not roll quite the way they wanted to. Or sorry, that was that Ben Guzman that just threw that? Yeah. I've been here since 8 a.m. I apologize if I'm a little scatterbrained.
That actually was Jeffrey Puller.
Oh, okay. Wrong team.
It's all good. Because now we've got the skip, Brian Fink of Team Fink.
Yeah.
It's easy how that works out.
Brian Fink will just go after that wide open red one. He's hoping to roll behind, but he's happy if he just sticks out in the open. And he didn't quite get the roll he wanted, but he got the hit. So now red will try the exact same thing to hit and roll behind. So far, this has been a very traditional game of, I mean, not traditional, but of exchanging hits. Both teams have been pretty accurate with their hits, so.
And this is the
looking like a pretty good shot. See if they'll get the roll they want. They'll get a roll. See if it sticks. So they'll get a roll, but it'll actually roll out. So they will not stick around.
That part is unfortunate for Team Pulley.
Yeah. At this point, Pulley's going to try for the blank. Most likely. So Fink is going to try to hide one behind that guard so that they can't blank. And then, depending on what happens there, Pulley will either try to draw for one or try to throw the blank. Draw's looking pretty good. Oh, no, I lied. It's heavy. And it's going to sail right through the house. So I suspect Pulley will just kind of throw straight through the house and let it be a blank. And take the hammer again in the fourth end. So that's quite a bit of weight, so it looks like that's exactly what she's trying to do, is just blanket. Right. So that is definitely a blank for our feature sheet for the third end. So after 3, we still have Team Fink with 2 and Team Pulley with 0. But Team Pulley still has the hammer. Let's see. On the other sheets, just taking a peek over, looks like on C, can't tell who's sitting right now. We have one red stone in the house and one yellow stone at the house. I think red is sitting 1.
Yes, I agree with you.
And then can't really tell on the other 2 sheets. I think on A we have yellow sitting 4. Oh, a lot more than that. 6. With yellow, I believe, having hammer, so. And then on D, unfortunately, can't see, but it looks like yellow is sitting 1 right now. But we will find out more when they post the scores.
Here's a view. You can probably see the end of A on the left screen there. And it looks like C is having a party in front of the house.
There's a lot of guards on C. But not too many stones actually in the house, so.
They're throwing a garden party.
They are both throwing a game in which they are trying to get a fair number of points. I think red was trying hard for the steal, and yellow is trying, being down a couple points, is trying to get a big end. Unfortunately, yellow just might have run one of their own back into, or sorry, they ran one of the reds into their yellow in the back of the house, so I believe red is now sitting 2. But yellow is hammer. And back on our feature sheet, we have something a little bit different. We now have yellow sitting 1 in the top 4 foot, and red with a corner guard.
And yellow with a far.
Another corner guard. It might not be visible, actually, Oh, you can see it on the one of the screens anyway. But that's a pretty high corner guard. I think yellow was hoping to guard their shot in the top 4 foot, but it overcurled on them. It might have picked, actually. Well, now red's trying to come and hit the yellow and roll behind one of those guards. And they will hit it, but they will leave it open. So yellow will exchange hits and then try to roll behind one of those guards. Yellow will definitely get the hit, but they will similarly leave it right in the open.
As you can see from this quick shot, A and C sheets are still.
Actually, all the other sheets are still in the third end.
11-5.
Red is going really hard. I think I got distracted by the other sheets. I think they had originally wanted the hit. It came up really light, so they will stick around and leave. Actually, that was pretty good for them. They looks like they buried behind one of their guards and they left that yellow one wide open. But yellow will try to guard that up.
Back to the hack.
Yellow is throwing a guard. It looks like they're hoping for it to curl a little bit more, but it looks pretty good to me. And it'll be a nice high guard. It actually might have overcurled on them.
Just a little.
But it looks like it covered it enough that yellow's going to try to peel it out. And she's calling him off of it. It looks like it's hanging out a little bit wide, so it might not get the peel that they were hoping, but it might actually get that yellow in the house. So I think they'll be happy with that, and it did.
That shot was delivered by Rebecca Andrew from Team Potomac.
We do have an update on D. Yellow, which is Team Jackson, took 3 in the third end. And that makes the score currently 4-1 for Team Jackson. Looks like yellow is going to try to do the hit on that red one. The only rock in the house. So I'm going to call it a slightly more down weight. Hoping that it'll curl. But it looks like it's a little wide. But it will still get to it. But and it'll get it out. And the yellow one will stick around on the outside of the house.
We have an update on sheet A. Team Clausen scored 6. So now they are at 8 points and Team Mooney is at 1. Back to our feature sheet.
Yeah, so red is just going to try the draw. They didn't try to go after the outside yellow one, thinking that it's not going to be too much of a threat. So they got a good one to the back 8 foot. But it's shot rack right now, and it looks relatively buried. So yellow will try to follow that up and freeze red on top of it. And I think it's going to over curl. So they're off of it right now. Not going to... Red was out there to sweep to see if she could take it into the house, but it didn't have that much weight, so...
More guards.
I think red's happy with guards, though. They're sitting 1 right now, and I think they're looking to get at least 2. They're coming to chat. I don't think they called it timeout, but I didn't see it.
We have an update on sheet C. Update on sheet C. It is now Team Glessner 4, Team Dauerheim 1.
All right, and it looks like Team Pooley is going to try to draw behind, but looks like they're coming up a bit light. And they're calling them up. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe that's good. They try to keep bringing it. Didn't quite curl as much as they wanted. But can't quite tell if that's second shot. I do not believe it is. I believe right now red is still only sitting 1.
You are correct, Andrea. From this view, yellow is second.
So I think yellow is going to try to draw as well. Or maybe they're... No, it doesn't look like they're going for the hit. I think I heard them saying they know the time better this way. But it looks like they're going to try to draw one in, see if they can outcount that red.
And this is Skip Brian Fink from the Broomstones Club.
Used to be my home club
Ah.
a few years ago.
And just because I'm curious, how many sheets does Broomstone have?
Broomstones is also a 4-sheeter.
Oh, wonderful. Good to know.
So yellow's trying to draw. It looks like they're trying to go through that center port. And she's saying woe line.
Don't think they're going to make it through that port.
It looks like they are.
Oh,
That was a pretty close,
it was
close shot, but they made it through. Didn't quite get to the point where they were out counting, but they are now, I believe, second and third shot. So makes it so red can't do a hit in set 3. Unless they somehow get the double, which would be... can't tell if it's possible from the single. Looking at the camera, it might be possible. But it'd be hard. Yeah, it looks like red is going to try to draw one to the other side, also through that nice center port. And try to sit second shot. All right, so red's draw is off. And they're just doing a clean. But it looks like it might crash. Can't tell. Nope, nope, it won't. It's passed.
through that
So
small
now that it's passed, they're going to keep trying to bring it as far as they can to bury it. And they will sit second shot. But I think it might be at least a little bit exposed.
All right. Here's
Not an easy hit, but definitely exposed.
a quick bird's eye view of the near house.
So yellow will go after it. Try to see if they can hit that out and then roll to maybe even be second shot, or sorry, maybe even shot rock. So they're trying that hit. She's calling him on it. Pretty hard. They're worried about crashing on that guard. And they'll sneak it past. And I think they're sitting shot now. Oh, I know they're sitting shot now. That was a pretty good shot.
Indeed they are. Here's your view.
They don't have anything on that left side, right? Yeah. Alex Jordan.
Now it looks like red is going to try to either draw one in or tap their outside red one. Looks like they don't think they can get to that yellow.
Like it.
Or they're content trying something different. Saving that yellow. Ah, this is actually hammer, so. So they were trying the top, but didn't quite get to it. So it looks like it will be a score of 1 yellow after 4. Now we're gonna go into the halftime break. So they'll get a short break. And then when we come back, I will actually have somebody else filling in for me. So I will sign off, and when we come back, you will have a different commentator. Hopefully be a little bit more awake than me.
And good curling to all.
Yes.
And have a good night.
I don't think that board's there. Like a half dial on top of it. Oh, right. Yeah. That's there. It's a little wide. If it floats, then we're going under that. Okay. Where are we going? Tokyo.
Right, at this time, sheets B and D are on their mid-game break. We do have some action still occurring on C and A. Now in this shot, C will be on your left, and sheet A is on your right-hand side of your screen. All right, we're about to get an update on sheet D. Team Foster scored in that fourth end. Okay, sheet D, updated score. Team Foster 3, Team Jackson 4. So again, a quick run of the scores. Sheet D, Team Foster 3, Team Jackson 4. Sheet C is still playing their fourth end. Sheet B is on their break, and it is 3 points Team Fink, 0 for Team Pulley at this time. And sheet A is still, they are also playing their fourth end. So if you're looking at the screen, on your right-hand side of the screen is the house for sheet A. can see on our screen, it looks like Sheet B, they're going to be starting back up, their break being finished. All right, for Team Pulley up, just releasing is Jason Scott. And for those of you who don't know, in his neighborhood, back in the Rochester area, there's a young man who calls him Scoot, on purpose. Evidently, this young man is headed for a life as a comedian. And of course, if you're going to call someone Scoot, you have to call him Scooter. This is Nicole Aaron for Team Fink. Update on the score on Sheet C. Team Glessner has 6, Team Dauernheim 1.
Team Fink somewhat successful in placing a scoring guard in front of their first shot, but it's vulnerable to take out, and that's what Team Pulley is after.
And that was Scooter. Right, and for those who don't recognize that voice, those are the lovely dulcet tones of our own Kevin White. Quick bird's eye view.
It's hard to tell who's shot there.
Okay, and the sweepers are escorting the stone.
We have an update from Sheet A, Alpha. The game is over after the 4th end.
Fine, but what was the score of the 4th end, or did they concede before? Oh, there it is. Okay. As Kevin said, the game on Sheet A has ended after the 4th end. Final score, Team Clausen 11, Team Mooney 1. Okay, this is Benjamin Guzman, second for Team Fink in the hack. And he also lifts up the stone with his delivery.
He tapped off the guard, which is still in play, but his stone spilled out. through the back of the house.
From this bird's eye view, it looks as if red is sitting one. Okay, this is Rebecca Andrew from Team Pulley.
Drawing in on the button for Mr. Guzman on Team Pulley. Update on sheet A, final score, Team Clausen 4.
11.
11, I'm sorry. Team Clausen 11, and their opponent's 1. I can't read the name because I'm old and my eyes are bad.
Team Mooney.
Team Mooney, there we go. Thank you.
All right, and this is Britt, the vice skip from Team Fink in the hack.
Well, they got one out, but they also got one of their own out.
Red is still sitting 2. And this would be Jeffrey Pulley, the vice on Team Pulley.
Trying to set a corner guard to protect their number 2 stone. Well done.
Looks like they're calling a takeout.
Looks right on line. Gonna hit a bit to the right of the nose, and it's gonna spill out of the house.
And the shooter as well. Give you a quick bird's eye view.
And Mr. Pulling shot goes right down and freezes to the other stone. They're now sitting 1 and 2.
Nice shot, Nick.
They are a little exposed from the guard in front of the house, which is a little to the left of the line to that stone.
And this is Team Fink skip. Setting up in the hack. Brian Fink.
Trying to knock these stones out, looks like. Might be hard to get in and hit it right on the nose, which they kind of need to make sure both stones spill out, or if they hit it wide. on the right. But if they hit it wide on the right, it may not have enough energy to have the desired effect. And they're gonna hit the guard.
The guard is out of play, and so is the shooter. Taking a quick bird's eye view. Red is still sitting 2.
So Team Pulley's going to put the guard back and protect those stones.
Just following a little bit of the action over on C. To the side of your screen, back to our feature. B.
Just fighting forward. 3 or 4.
I don't know if that's going to curl enough to really guard those stones. Nope. They're vulnerable on the left side of a guard now. Looks like the guard is about 3 feet to the left of the center line from our perspective. Looking down at the far end of the sheet. And Team Fink is going to try to take advantage of that and go after those 2 stones again. Here comes the shot. It's got a good weight. They're past the guard. And they get them both out of the house. Nice shot. Nicely done.
Very nicely done, yes.
Team Pulley with the hammer has 1 shot left. They're going to try to take out that Yellowstone. And I imagine go for a blank. Or they might want to take 1 and just be happy with 4 points. Shooter, and they spill out the shooter and do the takeout. So they blank the end and keep the hammer for the next end.
So sheet B score remains 0 for Team Pulley and 3 for Team Fink.
Yeah, now you're good. Yes, yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Watch your left. Whoa. Whoa.
And of course, my first of many errors to come. Team Pulley was blanking. to keep the hammer because Team Fink has 3 points. Brian Fink calling for a stone on the center line at the top of the 4 foot.
It's in the 12, it's in the 8, and
It's in the 4. Caitlin Pulley looking for a corner guard on the right side. Relative from our perspective behind the house. Down the sheet it comes. Slowing down a bit at the hog line. I don't think that's quite as deep as she wanted, but it can still be effective.
okay, we have an update on sheet D as in David. Is now Team Jackson 7, Team Foster 3.
Team Fink putting a guard in front of their shot rock, but still leaving it a bit exposed on the inside of that guard.
And this, again, is Mr. Scooter. However, his wife is still referred to as Mrs. Scott. Approaching the far hog line.
Oh, Team Fink trying to set a high guard and the stone hogged. So that's coming out of play. Caitlin Pulley calling for a takeout and a roll to our right, taking out the actually not taking it out, hitting it, knock the yellow guard out, and then roll to the right. And plan B, the shooter spilled out high, but the guard that they hit rolled back into the 12 foot on our right side.
Okay, sheet C, we have a score update. Team Glesner 6, Team Dauerheim now 3.
Brian Fink wants to take that red stone out. Shot looks nicely online. Very nice takeout. Caitlin wants a stone behind their guard on our right side.
This is
Over
Rebecca.
to the right, about 3.5, 4 feet out from the center, and forward of the tee line. Stone's coming down. Looks to be a little heavier than she wanted. Nope, that's where she wanted it. Nice shot. Not quite behind the guard, so it's still a bit vulnerable. And Brian Fink is going to take it out.
In the hack is Britt, his vice skip. A lot of weight. Just moving fast.
No sweeping necessary. Here the stone comes. Going to hit a little bit on the inside and roll a bit to the left, which could possibly set up a double takeout.
Right now, yellow is sitting 3.
But she's going to try to hit the stone on our right and roll to our right.
This is Jeffrey Pulley delivering.
Stone swinging out a bit. It's going to hit it wide. Got a nice spill. Brian sweeping it over, so it comes to rest about midway in the 12-foot with the center just behind the tee line.
Yellow sitting 2 presently.
Britt ran a cough shot, trying to get a guard in front of the shot rock. Looks to be about halfway out, maybe a little more from the house to the hog line, and perhaps a foot to the left of the center line.
Quick bird's eye view. Pulling back. This is Jeffrey Pulley, vice for Team Pulley.
Caitlin Pulley trying to get rid of the yellow shot rock. And it's gone, but their stone spills out as well. Oh, it's not gone. It just knocked it over a couple of feet to our left. Minor contact, hit too wide.
Yellow sitting 2.
Brian Fink looking to bring the stone down just to the right and in front of the shot rock, which would place it behind their guard, which is about halfway or so, or maybe more out between the house and the hog line. Stone's coming down the sheet. Looks a little wide of the mark. And it's going to come to rest just to the right and set up a possible double, which looks like what Caitlin Pulley's going to try to do. Hit that forward stone just on the inside, roll to the right behind the yellow guard, and hopefully take two of Team Fink's stones out in the process.
This is Caitlin Pulley. She's the skip of Team Pulley.
Here comes Caitlin Stone, has a good weight to it. Hitting inside just a bit as desired, and gets both stones out. However, her stone did not roll to the right as much as she wanted, so it's still vulnerable as well. And
it's shot.
Brian Fink is going to take advantage of that and try to take it out of the house. Here comes Brian's shot. He's successful with taking out the red stone, but his stone now is vulnerable. Both are. And looks like Caitlin Pulley is going to draw down. I'm not sure what the destination is. She might be trying to freeze to the yellow stone in the back of the house.
I believe this is the hammer. Last skip stone of this end, I believe. It's losing speed.
Still coming in a little heavy. And Team Pulley scores their first point in the sixth end. We go into our 60-second between ends break.
Sheets C and D are still in their sixth end. Perhaps you can see to the right of your screen, C and D, just a little.
Getting ready to resume play on sheet B. Our score now is Team Fink 3 and Team Pulley 1.
Lead for Team Fink is Ms. Nicole Aaron. She's getting instructions from her skip.
Nice center guard placed by Jason Scott. Mr. Scooter. And Nicole Aaron looking to draw behind.
It's heavy.
But it's a bit heavy and it's going to go out the back of the house.
Yes, it will.
Over here. Sure, it's fine, too, Amy.
Okay. Now, that's Mr. Scott.
Clean, 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 clean. Yep, bring it tight, bring it tight. Bring it tight, bring it tight. Tight as you can. Yep, keep going, keep going. Tight, tight.
We have an update from sheet C. Their sixth end was blanked. So it remains a score of Team Glessner 6, Team Darrenheim 3.
Team Pulley's shot comes up short. So now they have two guards on the center line, forward of the house.
Tight. Up four. Yeah. Yeah, line. Yep. Hurry, line. Really hard for line now. Really gotta go. Hard, hurry. Hard, hurry. Come on. Tight.
Team Fink trying to go around, but looks like they're going to tap one of the guards. They do.
A little more ice.
Spit a little bit to the right from our perspective again. At the near end of the sheet, the delivery end.
Have an update on sheet D. Team Foster now has 4. Team Jackson at 7.
Okay, can't touch it then. Yeah, go ahead then.
Becca Andrew trying to get around the guards. Looks a little bit wide, but it's in the house.
It's in the mostly in the 4.
So they're in the 4 foot in the forward quarter.
It's a quick view from the top.
Exposed only a little bit. But it looks like Brian Fink now wants to peel one of these guards off the center line.
So this is Benjamin Guzman delivering.
Yep, yep. Hard, hard, hurry.
Here comes the shot.
Ooh, a lot of speed, a lot of weight.
Clears one of the guards, which exposes Team Pulley Stone back in the 4 foot.
The hair tight. More in a little bit, more in a little bit. Yeah. Yep, get it over. Whoa, whoa, guys, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hurry, hurry.
Drew's second shot. Putting it in position to guard her first shot, and well done. And then
12.
behind the existing guard, so it's pretty well protected now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Hold on.
And again, Benjamin goes well.
Yep. Yes, hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Team Fink trying to peel that other guard out from the center of the house, and succeeds in taking the guard
And the red that was in the 12.
right, one of Team Pulley's scoring stones.
Same thing, Lauren early. Yeah. Okay, line's better. Line's better, over and up. Oh. Yes. Whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Team Pulley trying to put a guard in place to protect that stone. The sweeper's just now getting into action to try to get it over to the right.
And it's
Nicely done. Very, very nice guard. Well, it's not a guard, it's in the house, but it's guarding the stone very well. And Brian Fink taking that one up.
Yep, right, hard. Three.
stone delivered by Britt Renner.
Three. Hard. Hard, hurry. Okay, that's fine.
Took out the forward stone.
And Jeffrey Poe delivering his stone.
Might be able to get rid of them all.
Trying to put in the guard in place. Starting to slow down a bit.
Nicely done.
It's out in front of the house, but looks like it's guarding this shot rock pretty effectively. And Brian Fink says, take this one out too.
And the hack is vice skip for Team Fink, Britt
Yes.
Ranikoff. And again, we apologize if we are completely mispronouncing her last name.
Hard.
For the family
Really
and
hard,
friends,
hurry,
please accept our
Comes takeout.
apologies.
Looks like it's going to hit right on the nose. A little to the right. And spills just a little beyond the existing
Set of guards.
yellow guard. So there's a cluster of 3 yellow stones, 3 or 4 feet to the right of the center line,
And another,
well in front of the house.
another yellow stone as a corner guard.
Oh, yep, no, Lauren. Little take. Whoa. Nick. Finish. Whoa, keep it in front. Really nice, good. Almost on the button.
Brett trying to put the guard back.
This is Caitlin Pulley.
Oops.
It's okay, I have watched their team play before. Alright, it's slowing down. It's slowing down.
And it's
Nice.
well placed. Very
Nice.
nicely placed.
Very nicely placed guard.
All right, whoa. Sharp. Target sharp.
the Skip and Vice of Team Fink are discussing strategy. Oh, I guess the decision's been made. Okay. Sorry, folks, just a little difficulty at our end. So, looking at the far house, sitting one red. Captain, Caitlin Pulley, ready for her second skip stone.
Yes, hard, yes! Yes, 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 hard, yes, all the way, yes! Yes, 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 yes! Line's good, yes! Line's good. All right.
That was a good weight. It's okay.
And it's crossing the hog line
Caitlin trying to
now.
put the guard back. And it's a little bit to the left of
Still looks good.
where it should be, or where they wanted it. And that leaves the shot rock exposed to Brian Fink. And he's going to go after it.
Line's good. Lead on lead. Pull it, guys. Pull it. You gotta be around here. Yeah, it's gotta break. Let it break. Switch if you're gonna go switch. Switch. Yes, hard then. Yeah. Hard then. Okay. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Oh, go. Well, no, it's too late. All right.
Steve, do you have any of it, Nick?
Here comes the shot.
Sticking close to the center line.
It's coming to the left. Oh, it's going to hit the guard.
It is going to hit the guard.
So Caitlin Pulley picks up her second point in the 7th. So score is Team Fink 3, Team Pulley 2, and this is the 8th and final end. Team Fink having the handle.
I think you make them draw and see what happens. Because there's always a chance.
Both team sheets C and D are in the middle of their 7th end. Let's see if I can get you. Well, there's a little bit of sheet C there on your right. Team Dauerheim, talking strategy. Okay. Eighth and final end has begun on sheet B.
Jason Scott shooting for a center guard.
Where you on 9?
Weight looks a little light, and it's just over the hog line and about not quite half a stone width to the left of the center line.
Nicole.
Fink wants a stone down behind that guard.
And this is his front end, Nicole Aaron, delivering her first stone in this end. It is starting to slow down, but it's going to get into the house.
And it is just to the right of the center line behind the tee line.
Still on
Not
the floor.
protected at all. And Caitlin Pulley wants a stone above that in the house.
This is Mr. Jason Scott.
Jason's shot coming up lightweight again. And it's only going to be a few feet closer to the house than his first shot, and sitting on the center line. And Brian Fink is going to draw down, put a stone in the house, and protect his shot rock, and hopefully score a point with it as well.
Okay, I believe there has been concession over on sheet C. Update you with the final score as soon as we know it.
Nicole Aaron's second shot comes in and ends up just to the right of her first shot. And Caitlin Pulley wants to put a stone right in front of the left stone.
While that's happening, I can give you an update on sheet C. Final score, Team Glessner 8, Team Dauerheim 3.
And the red stone's coming down. Curling in a little bit, a little wide of the target by about 1.5 feet.
Nudged one of the yellow stones a little bit.
But Fink is still sitting 1 and 2.
Top four.
All right, sheet D, update. 5 for Team Foster, 7 for Team Jackson, and they're heading into their 8th end.
Just for. Yeah.
Benjamin Guzman delivering.
Team Fink peeling the center line guard, and they're successful. Caitlin Pulley's going to put a guard back just to the right of the center line. Here comes the stone. A little deep for a guard, but coming in
Shot rock.
right between the shot rock and the button.
Yes, that was delivered by Rebecca Andrew.
And Brian Fink wants a double takeout. He wants to hit that shot rock just on the inside of the pair. Then shoot over to the right, take out the second red stone, and sit with 3 in the house. Here's the shot. Has good weight. Oh my, shot was a little to the right. Took one of his stones out.
And took
And
one of the reds.
one of the reds.
So now red sitting 1. I apologize that I am incorrect. That's Jeffrey Pulley. It's a nice guard.
And Fink calls for another peel. Very appealing shot in this situation.
Red stone delivered by Britt.
Line's good. Successful peel. Both stones spill out.
All right, I'm taking a glance over on sheet D, and presently red, Team Foster, is sitting 2. Sweepers are just cleaning. Oh, now they're getting engaged.
And closes up a little bit. I think that gap between the guards
We'll have to wait and see.
can be shot.
Britt is in the hack.
It's going to have to be a pretty heavy stone. Coming right down the center line. To the right. Oh my, picked on something and well, plan B. Not bad.
Sorry, we do not have instant replay.
Yeah, looks like Britt Stone picked about 10 or 15 feet before the hog line. Went to our left, her right.
And it did the job.
Hit the red guard and knocked it back into the house.
Into the other red stone, so yellow sitting
Doing
1.
things the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, glancing over again at sheet D. Red is sitting 2. They're not the same 2 stones. They had some movement, but they're still sitting 2. Team Pulley is discussing strategy, or as some other folks may say, strategery. All right, there you can see a little bit of them discussing. All right, looks like a quick team meeting. Comes down to Skip Stone at the end of the 8th inning in our feature sheet B.
Caitlin trying to thread the needle between the guards,
Looks good from here,
which she
but
does. But will it make it all the way into the 4-foot? It looks like it's going to do it.
There's your overhead view. Indeed it did.
Nice shot.
Just off the button. Completely in the 4-foot. Okay, Team Fink also discussing their plan. Sneaking a peek at sheet D. Now, Team Foster, red sitting 1. Back to our feature sheet.
Brian Fink's first shot. Looks like he's going to try to follow Caitlin Pulley. Coming down the sheet. Oh, looks like it's got a good weight, and it's going to tap her stone back a bit. Oh, hits on the outside a bit, but has the desired effect.
Indeed, yellow sitting. Well, from this view, it looks like 1.
Caitlin Pulley's last shot coming up. Last shot of this end.
Mm-hmm.
May be the last shot of the game, but may not.
We shall see. Taking a peek over at sheet D.
Trying to figure out how to get the stone in there. There's not really enough room to draw with the guards that are in place. Call a timeout.
Timeout has been called. Peeking over again on sheet D. Red sitting 2. That's Team Foster sitting 2. Well, this last shot by Team Pulley is important. They are currently
Great deal of prognostication going on in the warm room here.
Indeed. Taking a quick moment to recap some of the other scores. Sheet A, Team Clausen 11 over Team Mooney 1. Sheet C, Team Glessner 8 over Team Dauerheim 3.
30 seconds left in the timeout.
All right, sneaking a peek over at D, a little bit of action. Well, they've got yellow has a biter on the front 12, and I can't tell if that red stone in the back is biting the 12 or not. It doesn't look at this angle, but that's from this angle.
5 seconds left in the timeout. Caitlin has almost 2.5 minutes of thinking time left, so that's not going to be a problem. Looks like she's decided on her shot.
Okay. Over
Although
on
I must admit, I'm not sure what it is. Looks like she's going to try to come into the forefoot and perhaps tap the yellow stone to the right of the center line.
looking over at sheet D, the last skip stone for Team Foster has been thrown. All right, it looks like on D, game has been called. Well, let's watch our stone here on sheet B. Oh, let's give you the multicam.
Here it comes,
Let's give you the
and
multicam here.
it hits the guard, spills out. So that's the game. Team Fink wins, score of 3-2 against Team Pulley.
That's red has thrown their last stone, so that's 2 yellow. Bravo, 2 yellow.
Well, and that's the end of action here at Potomac Curling Club.
Just for this evening.
All three other games have ended.
And giving you a quick update on sheet D as in David. They finished at Team Jackson 8, Team Foster 5. And the game you just watched over here on sheet B, Team Fink is 5, Team Pulley 2. We're going to leave these scores up on the internet for you to view. So, Kevin, an exciting evening of curling.
Indeed.
Any final thoughts?
I think I'll have a beer.
I meant concerning the games.
Loosen up a little bit. There has been some absolutely fantastic curling here in this competition. I have seen excellent shots, well thought out tactics,
Double takeouts.
really, really good execution. It's just a pleasure to be here and see this.
Indeed. Okay, Ben, we will wrap things up, as Kevin said, because guess what? Tomorrow is another day of more curling for you. There will be 3 draws tomorrow.
And perhaps a fourth if a tiebreaker's needed.
Absolutely. So I think we're going to say good night for now. Good night and good curling to all.
Good night for now.
Although